Ekele m Igbo bụ Igbo n'elekere iri nke asaa kpọmkwem site n'ụlọ ọrụ anyị. Nna m ana m asị nke onye chiri ya zero. Nwanna ọ bụrụ na ị nweghị data naanị rapụ gị ihe ọ bụla ị na-eme chọọ ebe ị ga-enweta data ka ị wọcha vidio na vidio dị ezigbote mkpa. Ọ dị ihe ndị a kwuru na vidio nke ọ ga-amasị m ka ị gere ka ị wee fụ ebe mmiri si wee baa n'opi ụgbọgụrụ na Maazị Nnamdi Kalu nọ na detention nke obodo Naijiria ọkwọ ha ọhịa wee nọdụ ebe ahụ. Enwe ndị bụ na ọha nwadosa adatụmanụ di ya. Enwe ndị bụ na ọha nwatiri ede ebe ahụ. Enwe ndị bụ na ọ because of na ha gbara nkịtị ka damanụ ji wee nọdụ ebe ahụ. Nna m chọtagoro nnọọ data ka ị nwee ike wọchị ihe nna m ya kwuru na vidio na okwu amamihe jupụtara na ihe a nna m ya kwuru. Wọchịgodo vidio ka ị nwee ike ghọta m na-ekwu.
A certain group of political elites, be they governors or senators or whoever, the political elite, people, office holders in Igbo land, that are the ones, behind the continuous incarceration of Nnamdi. Because according to those sources, according to people that allege, they say that, look, if Nnamdi comes out, he is going to impact negatively on their political status, ambition, and all of that. 2027 is on the table, governorship is on the table, and all of that. And recall too that a certain governor, Chukwu Masoludo, in fact, says, look, the release of Nnamdi Kanu is not going to thaw the tension in the southeast. I want to have your broad reaction to all of this.
Before I react to that, we need to be able to identify where this whole agitation starts from and where we've gotten to this point where we are now. I've always maintained that the Igbo leaders are culpable with everything that has happened in the southeast and with what Nnamdi Kanu is presently going through. And I'll tell you why. There wouldn't have been need for this agitation if our so-called leaders in the southeast, the governors, the senators, were doing the right thing. I am from the southeast. I am ashamed of my governors, every one of them. I am ashamed at the level of lack of development in the southeast. So when we begin to talk of agitation, I have always said before now that agitating to hold the federal government responsible is one thing. But let us bring it home. Let us hold our governors accountable, because they are receiving funds every month and the people are not seeing what these funds are being used for. So that is where the problem is. Now, taking it further, have they done enough? Are they doing enough? I will say no. We are in Nigeria, you and I. We have seen how, when it comes to the north, trying to get their person out, we've seen how they go about it. Not violently, but we have seen the kind of people that come out to speak. And they don't stop speaking until they achieve something. Bringing it to the southwest, we've seen it severally, where the leaders in the southwest have come together as a bloc. And then they galvanize their people to say, this is what we want. How many people in the southeast are doing it? How many? Your governors are not interested, because the governors are saying one thing here, they're doing another thing on the other side. If the governors, as we claim, have come together to say they want Nnamdi Kanu to be released, why would another governor come out to say releasing him will not be a solution? Does it not show you that the house is divided? I've always said that Senator Abaribe has been talking, but has he ever raised the issue of the release of Nnamdi Kanu on the floor of the Senate? What are we talking about? It's not for you to call a press conference after plenaries. Put it out there. No, he has never. I have never heard him talk about it on the floor of the Senate. He only talks about it after plenary. So we need to know what we want. Our leaders in the southeast have continued to disappoint us. Let us put it the way it is. And I believe they can do better. I believe they can galvanize if they are ready to speak with one voice, to appeal to God. See, the issue of Nnamdi Kanu right now has gone beyond judicial issue. Let us look at a political solution to it.
Now, talking about looking at a political solution to it, what impact does the prescription of IPOB affirmed by the Supreme Court just the other day have? What impact would it have on his case? Looking at a political solution to it.
Well, I will try
let's measure that side by side.
What I see playing out is give a dog a bad name to kill it. And that's what this government is doing. Because we know that it's only in Nigeria you have proscribed IPOB. Nobody in the international community has called IPOB a terrorist group. So the whole idea is, okay, if they can, like the Supreme Court has said, it's a terrorist group, the leader of that group, obviously, is a terrorist. That is what they're time to that. But I'll say this: whether the Supreme Court has said this or not, Nnamdi Kanu's case should be treated as a purely political case with a political solution. If every now and then we accept that, you saw what played out in is it Kaduna State, where the government was holding meeting with bandits and terrorists, and they were all, showcasing